In our Applied Media Research module, we were approached by Rebel Play, who are an exclusively digital gaming publishers that strive on building a relationship between developer and publisher in order to create a game that is great. They were concerned about their female audience. They came to us with the question, do media platform and genres have specific gender appeal? Why don't more women play console games? Our group decided to approach this question by looking at these topics: appearance, occupation, representation, youth, sexism, and consoles. Our aim is to research and investigate both parts of the question in order to guide and suggest ways in which a gaming company such as Rebel Play can connect with the female audience. Looking closely at the appearance of women in games, it is clear to see that the majority of characters offer the perfect woman, and although this is attractive for men, many of the women we contacted said oversexed, bland portrayals of women should be uncommon instead of the norm. This suggests that the possible use of characters which aren't male or female might appeal to a broader audience. This is already being used in games such as Nintendo Mario Kart, where players can choose from a range of characters. Due to most games being aimed at men through the occupations which appear in the top-selling games such as FIFA 2011, which offers male footballers, or in Call of Duty, which explores the life of a male soldier. In both of these games there is no option to choose your character, there is a preset story and occupation. However, a game such as The Sim tackles this issue by offering the players total control over the game. Could this be combined and adapted in order to create the perfect game, which is a universal appeal? Next, we looked at the representation of women within today's society. Because the media has overpowered the way in which we view the world, we wanted to look at the representation of women within television. Reality television has taken over our screens. The X Factor is a singing-based contest which is open to all. In the past, girl groups have had little success in the competition due to the way the show sold their sex appeal rather than creative abilities, such as Candy Rain, Bad Lashes and girl bands, who were all voted off within the first and second week of the live shows. However, Little Mix have now become the first girl group to win the competition. This shows that by representing real women and by offering positive role models, they will have a lasting impact within society. Relating this back to games, it is clear that using real women instead of over-sexualized ones will be more successful. When we began using Little Mix as our case study, we, like everybody else, thought they would be voted off early. However, it was interesting to see how the X Factor had gone in an opposite direction with this girl band and sold them week after week as average girls until they were crowned winners. The reaction from the public was beyond positive. We quoted the judges saying, "There's natural chemistry with you, which is why girls should vote." It's nice to know we're getting lots of support off teenagers and young girls. We're not perfect and that's why they do like us, which was by one of the band members.
The way that children are being brought up has a major impact on their likes and dislikes. And so, could the older generation be influencing our childhood? In a survey we asked, for a birthday, would you buy your son a Barbie doll? Unsurprisingly, 10 out of 10 parents said that they wouldn't. We also asked, for Christmas, would you buy your daughter a football game? Yet again, 10 out of 10 parents said that they wouldn't. We wanted to gain the opinion of someone who does not fit within this bracket, and so we looked to Melissa Craig, who is an avid gamer. Melissa felt that, because she was brought up with two older brothers, she had always been influenced to play games. If she had two older sisters, perhaps she would never have picked up the gamepad. She also agreed that Lara Croft is highly unrealistic, and the option to choose a character and the option to have different stories could improve games. However, many gaming companies have already approached the issue of a girl gamer, such as the Nintendo Wii. But why has this become so popular? Perhaps Rebel Play should target not only towards different sexes, but towards different lifestyles as well. They could also target families, as getting parents involved with the gaming process is vital, because it is them who is buying the products for birthdays and Christmases. But why are they so popular with girls specifically? Perhaps because of the female appeal, and the option of characters, lifestyle help, and because they're not as aggressive. Next, we'll look at a recent advertising campaign by Nintendo Wii, which features JLS, a band who competed on the X Factor.
Everyone be a me. I'm the red one. Mine looks good. Let's get it on. Let's do it. Mario Kart, let's go. Yeah. Here we go. Number 1. Yeah. What's this again? Flip. Who's ready for the lightning strike? Who just sprayed ink? Yeah, baby. How can I be third now? Come on. Go, strike. Go, let's go. Yes. I won again. What's wrong with you?
Mario Kart Wii, now available with the limited edition Black Wii console and wheel.
This advert's interesting because it uses male celebrities and so appeals to a female audience. Now we're going to look at sexism. In a survey, we asked which game offered the least realistic female representation. The options were Lara Croft, Grand Theft Auto, Resident Evil, The Legend of Zelda, Halo, and Beyond Good and Evil. Unsurprisingly, with 57%, Grand Theft Auto was deemed the least female representation. This is because many of the women within the games are either presented as prostitutes or strippers. Sexism is a huge issue within gaming. However, it is unclear as to whether it actually affects our gaming experience. In a survey, we asked the sample audience whether they felt that game consoles themselves appealed to a specific gender. 100% of them said yes, claiming that popular console games tend to sell because of violence, with many of this season's releases being testosterone-powered first-person shooters. Or if it is being aimed at a female character, they'll be dressed in a way that will make boys buy the game. There is nothing to say that it isn't for girls. Girls can play games just as well as boys, but games get targeted at boys primarily. A study has revealed that the level and frequency of female gaming decreases as they leave the childhood home and take on additional roles and responsibilities. We found out that women are more likely to purchase a physical good rather than a game because they felt that they had got more for their money. Next, we're going to be looking at consoles. There have been many advertising campaigns surrounding consoles and gender appeal. The colour and design has always been something that's occupied this. The first company to recognise this gap was PlayStation, when they released their pink console, which was supposed to bring in this female audience. However, one of our responses on a survey stated that it isn't the console in particular, but the ease and use and structure of the games that affects the gaming experience. We also looked at the history of game consoles. This is vast, and in particular, the history of women within society plays a huge role in it. The liberation of women during the 1960s meant that shifts in gender role occurred, as well as the era of fitness, where the mass media deemed it important to look the part. This is evident in many of the Wii games, like Wii Fit, Mario Kart, and Wii Olympics. We also looked at gaming shops. These are fairly neutral. However, a game company such as Game has a pink titles for its shop. This is so to lure women in, and because males are a guaranteed audience with the games, this will help women decide to choose a game. You can also see that in the window there is Sims 2. We have talked about this before, and that The Sims offers a universal appeal to many different genders. Feminine roles are consistent with the changing understandings of what constitutes contemporary femininity. As such, they are consistent with changing female representations in the media in general. In addition, they represent the continuing attempts of the game industry to a wider market of female gamers. To conclude, there are several areas that Rebel Play should consider. One is the game itself, and allowing characters to create their own player. Another is to create storylines with multiple avenues so that each player gains a different experience. As advertising is key, by having a range of campaigns appealing to separate audiences, they'll be able to draw in a larger audience altogether.